So what's up, YouTube people? In here, you can see the radio is like halfway out. I'm letting it run to get the voltage back up to 16. Everything's going good in here. I did a way cleaner job in here than I did mine. Got my Fat Boy regulator down there. My distribution block, like my relays and everything. These are really cool. You can see where you hook everything in there. And these are like 30 bucks on Amazon. I did have to notch the little cover on the side right here to run the wires out, but I got like OFC 4 gauge running back to the battery. I haven't tightened this up because this build is far from done. I'm just making a quick video today because the reason that head unit's pulled part of the way out is because this car got terrible engine noise. And obviously the first thing that I was going to try is running a wire, the ground wire, directly from the head unit back here to the bank. That didn't fix it. It was still there. I mean, I had been battling this thing for a couple days. We tore that whole door apart, tried everything we could in there. And you see, I got wires everywhere. This build is not done. There's no seats in here. I still had to address all that wiring. I've been crazily battling that engine whine. And what it boiled down to is the tweeters in that passenger door didn't work. So I took this RCA, put it in the back one in the front. It automatically moved it to the driver door. Well, that let me know a couple things. That the amp was working right, and it wasn't nothing to do with my speaker wires coming out of the amp. That it was possibly an RCA issue. Got RCA laying on the hood. I swapped it out with a brand new one. Did the same damn thing. I jumped in my DSP. I thought, well, maybe this channel here was bad, so I programmed the DSP for the tweeter outputs to channel 9 and 10. So I jumped these RCAs going to the amp over to 9 and 10. Same issue. So I could even swap these around, which I did, and it would swap which door the tweeters had issue in. Now mind you, channel 1 and 2 input ran both these amps. It ran everything but the 10s. I had no problems with the horns that were running off of channels 3, 4, 5, and 6 to this 4 channel. The horns worked perfectly, guys. There was no variance in volume, and the tweeters had a big variance in volume, and it definitely had like no sound out of one door, just a crackling. So what I wound up doing is I took my channel 1 and 2 output on this DSP and converted it over to output 3 and 4, and everything works fine. Like, I just changed the input for channel 1 and 2 to 3, to channel 3 and 4 for output 1 and 2. Everything's working perfectly fine now. The horns that are ran off of these two, they still work perfectly fine. I don't know why. I just had a crackling if I used input 1 and 2. Maybe something's wrong with that RCA coming from the in-dash, or there's something wrong with the in-dash output, but you'd think that would carry over. Now for another kicker I have. Guys, I have very minimal alternator whine. Couple more grounds on the chassis for my big 3 should take care of that. But when I hook these fans, when I turn them on, I do get whine at low volume. Does anybody have a solution for that? Only when I turn these fans on. Now they are run through a relay, and I'm using a remote wire to operate the relay to turn them on. So I'm thinking if I put them actually on a toggle switch, take the remote wire out of the equation, it should cut that off entirely. So I'm thinking back feeding through the remote wire, but we're gonna get to that later. I'm gonna try that. And then this thing should be like noise free, but guys, when you have that alternator whine sound, only start by your ground on your in-dash. Ground it directly to the battery in the back. Normally that'll take care of it. I just made a quick video because normally that does take care of it. And this particular one, it was a crazy input on the DSP situation. And And dude, it had me baffled for like days. Hey, normally I'm team no fuse, but you can see a fuse there, guys. I do have 4-aught running from the alternator back here and to the bank. I do have a fuse in there. I believe it's like a 500 amp. But hey, all down through here, you ain't gonna find a damn fuse in this bad boy. All right, everybody, peace out.